if you'll excuse the ongoing dishwasher noises, we got a deck. This is one I've been tinkering with for a little while now, and it is finally at a state where it's reliable enough to cover. Oh, shut. Now the dishwasher just about finishes. Anyway, so command zone then. We have Ganax, Astral Hunter. Whenever he enters, or whenever Ganax or another dragon enters, I get a treasure token. Choose a background. With Acolyte of Bahamut, command a creature your own, have the first dragon spell you cast each turn, costs 2 less to cast. This is about getting a bunch of dragons on the board as quickly as possible. So, with that, let's look at the dragons. Sure. We have Drakuseth, we have Furnace Whelp, we have Terror of the Peaks, we have Scanos, we have Invasion of Tarkia, which is, well, also kind of removal, in that it's 2 mana to ping some damage into someone, but it also flips into Defiant Thundermaw, which lets all of my dragons ping for damage. It's also small enough that most of the dragons on the deck can reliably swing at this for 5 damage the turn it enters the battlefield. We have an old as balls human dragon, because you can't beat the classics sometimes. We have Goldspan, because, Goldspan. The deck already does stuff with treasure tokens, and it makes sense to include the treasure token to get better card, especially when it's another dragon. Let's see, Swashbuckler is partly in here as a win con, just because double strike on any of these gets fucking insane. Skyship Stalker is Dragon Thunderbreak Regent. Good old fashioned Tarkia dragon here. Scourge of the Throne. It's a way of getting additional combats that doesn't feel broken. Lathless gets me a bunch more dragons and can fire breathing to collectively pump all my dragons. Hellkite Charger is another sometimes second combat phase. Realm Scorcher Hellkite is just a fun one. Especially considering that he doesn't have fire breathing, but he has I guess fireball breathing. Shock is 2 damage. I guess he has zippity zap breathing. Thrakus is very fun. Furnace Hellkite, because, I'm going to have a bunch of treasure tokens. I'm not going to say no to a 5/5 for around 2 mana or so. And Incinerate the Guilty, because why the hell not? So, now for the dragon support, Magdal the Hordemaster. Whenever I commit a crime, I get a treasure token. I'm going to be targeting stuff, semi-regularly. So my dragons can target for things. Most of my removal targets, other than the board wipes, of course. It's reliable enough, but mostly it's in there because I can effectively pay 3 mana from treasures for a 4/4 flying haste dragon. Very fun. Dragon Master Outcast. Controlling 6 on the land isn't difficult here. I like getting the tokens. Dragon Lord Servant. Cheaper. Shaman. Further cost reduction. You're potentially going to be shitting out a lot of dragons for not a lot of mana with this deck. It's very fun. Okay, speaking of mana then, let's get on to the Ramp Suite. Arcane Signet, Virtuous Strength, Farseek, Dragon's Horde, Glittering Stockpile, Growing Rights, Cultivate, Guild Artisan, Nature's Law, and Commander Sphere. No Soul Ring, just because I've got a lot of stuff that does convenient cost reduction. Soul Ring doesn't feel super worth it in here. There's nothing that feels worth cutting for it. Yeah, Soul Ring is, objectively speaking, a good card, but that doesn't mean it's a good card in every deck. Yeah. Anyway, the Draw Suite, Tribute to the World Tree, Garrick's Uprising, Herald's Horn, Witch's Mark, Up the Beanstalk, Return of the World Speaker, and Thrill of Possibility. A little short on the draw, I'm aware, but there's a couple of things in Ramp that can also draw me. There's some stuff elsewhere that can help with that. So let's get on to the interaction suite. We'll get to lands in a moment. So destructive tampering. I like creatures that flying can't block this turn. It means that my dragons can reliably get through even against boards with reach. Class Will, recent edition, picks up from friend of the channel Toru. Very fun. It's basically a board wave that leaves my shit alone 99% of the time. And if it does kill my shit, it kills the non-dragon shit. Who cares if it's not a dragon? Anyway, Wild Magic Surge. It's just fun. Cosmotronic Wave. Another creature your opponent's control can't block this turn. Can help me swing in for the win. Spit Flame. 3 mana 4 damage isn't spectacular, but seeing I'm going to be having a bunch of dragons entering, I can reliably get it back. Blast Act. It's a Blast Act. Snakeskin Veil. It's fun to just be able to say no sometimes. Return to Nature. It's a staple. And Vandal Blast. Blow up a shitload of artifacts. I'm not going to say no to that. So, let's quickly run through the land base. So for non-basics, we have Path of Ancestry, Arena of Glory, Commercial District, Mosswort Bridge, because, hideaway lands are fun as hell. And you're going to have creatures with power 10 or greater sooner or later. You can cheat out some powerful shit with that. Kessig Wolf Run, because Trample Enabler. Bone Clearing, which flips into something I forget what it is. Standard stuff like Rootbound Cry, Capalucent Forest, Mossfire Valley, Rockfire Vale, Wooded Foothills. Recent edition, rather nice. Evolving Wilds, Temple of the Dragon Queen, because, it's dragons. Rogue's Passage, Haven of the Spirit Dragon, another recent edition, picks up at the same time as Class Will from Toru. I think Mosswort Bridge is from her as well. I mean, she's very much a dragon player, so occasionally has useful dragon bits up the trade that she's cut from her own decks. Great at times like this. Anyway, Myriad Landscape, Thornspire Verge, because, sure, let's throw in some of the new shit. Game Trail, Command Tower, Cinderglade, and then for the basics we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forests, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mountains. Which feels like a decent amount, like, most of them are in there, so that I have, decent odds of proccing Virtue when it's on board. If it comes to it, I might cut Virtue for something else, move it to another deck. Anyway, this leaves with 2 categories, fun shit and bullshit. Let's start with fun shit. City on Fire, Damage Tripler, Draconic Destiny. It's fire breathing, it gives creatures fire breathing, and makes them dragons. If they're already dragons, it just gives them fire breathing. We like. Fire Emancipation, another damage tripler, can't get enough of those. Pfizer Yaramaya, nice haste enabler. Dragon Mantle, gives fire breathing. Rising of the Day, haste enabler. Raised by Giants is in here just because it's fun. Like, if you get this and Trackers on the board, your commander swings for 20. And if you've got Swashbuckler, it can swing for 20 with Double Strike. It's fun as hell having a combo like that on board. Anyway, onto the bullshit, as I'm calling it. Draconic Mirrorless, when it dies, hit Tutor for a Dragon. Last March of the Ents, uncounterable, draw a bunch of cards, and then shit out some dragons for free. Thunderous Debut. You pay 8 mana and blow up a treasure, and then look at the top 20 cards of your library and shit out a couple of dragons for free. Monster Manuel. Shit out a dragon. Invasion of Chandelar is a very fun one if you'll interact with it. Again, 4 mana, very easy to blow up. Right? ETB, return 3 target opponents and draw your hand. Already fairly useful, nice little bit of recursion. And then you flip it, and everyone is fucked. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, just start shitting out all those 6 mana dragons for 0 mana. And because it doesn't count as casting it, it doesn't use up the cost reduction from Acolyte of Bahamut. Very fun, very useful. Anyway, Monstrous Vortex. It gives a good chunk of your dragons Cascade. Not Cascade, is it Cascade? Yeah, it gives a good chunk of your dragons balanced Cascade. It's nice to be able to discover into stuff. Basically 5 mana repeatable Dragon Tutor. Menu of the Mighty. Another one that lets you shit out dragons for free. Finally, let's look at the token bank for this Summon Witcher custom. We have some 4 mana Tad Cooper, some 4/4 Tad Coopers, some 5/5 Tad Coopers, Scorpion, and my absolute favourite treasure tokens. This round doesn't recognise it, is Conversation with Smog from The Hobbit. Anyway, this deck, decently strong, very fun to play. It's gruul stompy. I don't know what more you want from me. It does what it does. It does it pretty well at this point. Anyway, I'll see you next time when we swing by Eldraine.